guys, it's Gina, and I'm just going to share my recipe of how I make my holiday dressing. I just have a stick of butter in the skillet that I have melted down, and this is what I am going to use to saute my trio in. And my trio is just some onion, bell pepper, and celery that I have diced up finely, and that's what you're going to put into your dressing. So I'm just going to add it to my skillet to saute it down some, just to soften it a bit. And I probably have here, I have like a whole onion, probably like, I don't know, I think I did like 4 individual stalks of celery that I chopped up, and a green bell pepper. So guys, we're just gonna let that saute and cook down a little bit just to soften it up before it goes into our dressing. And I'm gonna mix everything in a large bowl. So I'm just getting my bowl ready. And this is the stuffing that I use. I use the cornbread stuffing mix to make my dressing. And I'm just gonna be using 1 bag today because I'm just making enough for my family. And we are going to season our dressing. So I'm going to be adding some sage, some black pepper, and some salt. And you kind of just want to season it with the salt and pepper to taste. And I'm going to use about, because I don't usually measure my seasonings, but I'm going to say it's probably about a 1/4 teaspoon of sage. And you are going to taste this before you bake it, just to make sure the flavor is where you would like it to be, in case you need to add any more sage or salt and pepper. Alright guys, so our trio is ready. So now I'm going to add it to my cornbread mixture. And now I'm going to add a can of chicken broth to my skillet, and I have it turned off, but it's still going to get warmed up because the skillet is hot. I just wanted to get warmed up some, because normally I would use broth for my turkey, but I'm not making a turkey, so this is how I'm going to make it. I'm just going to use some chicken broth. So I'm going to use at least 2 cans of chicken broth. I'm only going to warm up one of them. The other one I'm just going to add directly into the mixture. So I'm just going to make sure I get all the vegetables mixed in well. And then we're adding a can of chicken broth directly to the mixture. We're just gonna mix that all in good. And the reason I like to warm some of it is because I would, like I said, normally use it poured straight from my turkey after cooking it. So it would already be a little warm, but it helps soften up these cornbread crumbs. So that's why I like to warm up some of it to use into my mixture. And I'm just going to mix it in good just to see if I'm going to need the rest of it, which it looks like I am. I don't want it to be too loose. You do want it to be pretty moist though, because you don't want to, when it's baking, for it to dry out. All right, so we're going to finish mixing the remainder of that in. And this is the texture I like to have mine. It's, as you can see, it's really moist. When it bakes, it's gonna, suck up some of that moisture into these breadcrumbs, but it's gonna remain moist. So like I told you guys in the beginning, you want to taste it and make sure you don't need to add anything to it. And it tastes good to me as is, so I put the right amount of everything I like in mine. The main thing you want to, when you eat a stuffing or a dressing, you definitely want to be able to taste that sage flavor from it. So I definitely can taste that. And now all I'm going to do is oil up my skillet a little bit more, just so it doesn't stick to it, because I am going to bake it in my cast iron skillet. So I'm just going to take a little bit of oil and a paper towel and rub it around the pan just to make sure my dressing doesn't stick to it. Then guys, you're just going to add your mixture to your pan. And if you don't have a cast iron skillet, you can bake this in an aluminum pan or a regular glass baking sheet dish or anything. It doesn't make that much of a difference of what you're baking it in. You just want to make sure you get it spread out really good. And guys, I'm just going to put this in my oven. I have my oven already preheated at 350. I'm going to put it in there for 35 minutes, and then I will show you the finished product. And there you are, guys. Here's the finished product, and it is still nice and moist. It browned a bit at top like I like it. And I forgot to mention, guys, you are going to cover this with foil when you bake it, just so it doesn't dry out. But look at that, guys. It's still nice and moist. So there you are, guys. I hope you like this video. I would definitely recommend trying this recipe. It's really good. It's just an easy way to make dressing without having to make the cornbread and all those things. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys again soon.